Alright, so Hotel California by the Eagles, released in 1977. This one was written mostly by Don Felder, and he originally played it on a 12-string, mic'd through Leslie cabinets, and also mic'd directly. So it has that kind of swirling effect. And before I go too much farther, there's a video of him explaining and demonstrating how he plays this song today. Which is quite a bit different than how he played it on the record. Okay, so in this video I'm gonna show you mostly how he played it on the record, because it's quite a bit more intricate than the way he plays it now. Okay, so it was originally recorded in E minor, and if you watch that video, he explains, you know, all the sort of backstory of it. So I'd highly suggest watching that video. And then if you want to learn the more specific picking, you know, continue watching this one. Anyways, it's in standard tuning. We've got the capo on the 7th fret. Okay, so that's going to put it into B minor. But I'm going to call these chords like, you know, I'll call that an E minor, that a B7, right? So we maintain the same kind of fingerings that we're used to. Okay, so let's just go over the chords. So it's E minor, and then B7. And then we've got this D. It's a D, but with your middle finger off, so you get that open E string, so it's like a D sus2. And then we've got this A chord, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, A4 and D2, open G, open B, open E. Will be like an A7 add 9. Yeah, basically an A9 chord over a third in the bass. And then we've got a C. And then we've got a G. And we wind up, you know, hitting those, the third and the root. And then we've got an A minor 7. Now I know a lot of people will play an A minor there, and actually Don Felder looks like he's playing an A minor in his demo, but on the record it's definitely an A minor 7 with that open G. And then we finish it off on the B7. Okay? But of course the trick to the song is the picking, and I'll just show you how he plays it now. Okay, that's pretty well what he's doing nowadays. It's very simplified, but on the record he's picking a lot more. There's a lot more intricate picking going on. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain this to you. It'll be a tough one to get because it's very intricate. Okay, so the basic picking pattern is this. Okay, so what we're doing there, I'll just try and get close on my picking hand, is we're going to go and that's down on the D string, up on the G, down the D string, up on the B, down on the D string, up on the G again, and then down on the high E. So real slow. Okay. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And what you want to do is you want to just practice that. And what you really want to do is emphasize the upstrokes. And of course that last downstroke. Okay, so when you're bouncing off of that E note there, you want that to be kind of back. And you want the upstrokes and that last downstroke to be prominent. Okay, so that's your first pattern. Okay, then we're going to go just open G and then G2 with that open B. Okay, which is really quite dissonant, but because it's in passing, it actually adds a lot to the sound of the song. And now we're going to form this B7 chord, but we're going to start with D1. And we're going to go. All right, so that's going to be the D1 and then the G string and the B string. And it's a downstroke on both the D and the G string, and upstroke on the B. And now, instead of going back to the D, we're going to go down to this A string, the B note on the A string. So we're going to go, right? So it's down, up, down, and upstroke on the high E. And finish it off by going. Okay, so that whole pattern is again real slow. Okay, so far we've got now we're going to go to this D chord. And what I hear there is I hear double on the D string, or the B string, the D note. I hear that, okay? Now there's a million ways you can play that. You could go bounce off the G, or bounce off the D string, but I definitely hear, okay, so it's a down or a up down on that D note on the B string, right? And then the high E. So then we're going to go G string, B string. And then we're going to go open A. Take our third finger off and play open B string. So we've got okay, real slow again. Now we're going to go to this A chord. And we're going to do the same picking pattern as the intro. The first chord of the intro, right? So we've got, going to start with that A4. Right, so down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And now we're going to go to the C chord, and we're going to go like this. Okay, exact same pattern as here, or here. Okay, but we're on the C chord now. And now we're going to go, and that's just the A string, G string, down, up. And then a hammer on that E note, So on that C we've got okay. So let's do that whole thing up to there. And now we're going to go to this G chord, but we're going to start with the open D. So we got, okay, so D, G, B. Okay, so from the C, and now we're going to go hit that B note on A2, and it's the A string, G string, B string. And now the G note, and D string, B string. So it's right. So G, B, A, G, B, E, D, B. So from that G chord, it's now we go to the A minor 7. And exact same picking as the opening chord. Okay, so but we're on the A minor 7. We just start with that open A. Okay, and then we're going to go D, G, E. And then this B7 chord, and he doubles up on that G string, right? To the B string, and then G, E, down up. Okay, and that's the whole cycle. And then it basically just repeats. So let's just play it all the way through real slow. And that last one is doubling up on that G string. Okay? And then it repeats, and it's pretty well exactly the same. Okay? So that's how he plays it on the record. But if all of this is, if all the picking is too much for you, you can just simplify it, right? Because he's bouncing off of 2, 2, 3. You can hear that E string, or the E note, the D string being played 3 times if you really listen. 1, 2, 3, right? So to simplify it, you just play it once. Right? 1. Instead of... And you just do that straight across. Right? So instead of going, you're just going to go. And here, instead of going, you're just going to go. Okay, same on the C chord. Instead of going, you just go. Okay, and that's, you know, much simpler way of playing it. But to me, there's nothing like the way he played it on the record. It just gives it that, I don't know, it's just different. It just sounds... It just gives it that fullness and richness, you know. All right, so that's pretty well it for the main part. Now, we've got that second guitar part in there too, and that's actually in standard tuning, and that's, I'm just tuning up here a bit because the capo always makes things go sharp. Okay, that's pretty good. So that second guitar part starts like this. It starts on this D. Okay, so where I'm at here is just the 5th fret of the A string. D2. D4. Okay, so we got... Okay, and then we're... And then we do this chord. And what that is just an E7 chord, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straight across, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4 from the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? D string. So we've got. Okay, really great part. And now he's going to go B, A4, A5, and then we're just going to try and hit this F sharp with your thumb. It's a thumb over, right? And the open D. So we've got. And then he's going to go include that A string. Okay. Okay, and then slide your 3rd finger here to A4 and play that 2-note chord, the D string and the D string. So we've got. And then we play open E while we put our 1st finger on D2. And then we're going to go like this. Just starting from the G string. B, E. Just ahead. And then back, stopping on the D string. So. now we're going to go, that's D4 and G2, and just straight ahead, straight across, D, G, B, E. So, and now we're going to go, which is like a G chord, right? But only we've got D5 and B4, open B, open E, and straight across again. So, and now we're gonna get our first finger on that F sharp note on E2. While we get D4 and G2, we're gonna go, so E, D, G, B. Right? So we've got and then we're going to end it up by going, and we're taking our first finger from here to here, just up the octave, right? From the F sharp on E2 to the F sharp on E2. But on the 6th string. So that whole part is going to sound like this. Well, from that last bit. And that whole part now. So we can start on the D. Okay, and then stand on the B minor. Anyways, that's it for this one. Beautiful song, great guitar playing by Don Felder. A really good musician, you know, really good acoustic player, really good electric player, really good composer. You know, wrote some great guitar parts all throughout the Eagles catalog. Anyways, hope you get something out of this. Hope you enjoy playing it. Hope it helps you, and we'll talk to you next time.